Hello, my friends, on this wonderful Wednesday, July the 9th, 2025. As promised, I came through today. I'm actually going to talk about what I had mentioned in yesterday's video. We're going to go over Five Below, my friends. Now, some of my old friends who've been listening to my rants and raves and desperations and disasters and daring escapades in the markets over the past couple years, remember that this was a last year idea that we were formulating. So, zoomed out here, we first had just come up with the idea of, okay, looking at the zoomed out picture on the quarterly, okay, looks like we're kind of making this odd shaped triangular pattern here. Okay, price is kind of staying within this. And we were formulating that this bottom trend here, okay, right here, we were formulating that, okay, price might just, bounce off this bottom trend down here. And it's looking to bounce. And that was back in July and August. So we zoom in a little bit more. And that was our idea. Our idea last year, around July and August, was buy here, 85, 78, okay? And then price would most likely at least work its way to try and test the top of the triangular pattern up here. 170, 165, okay? As you can see, we had our take profit here at 180 as an ultimate take profit. So we zoom in a little bit more on the weekly. So what has happened in the past year, the past 52 weeks? Why was this one of our losing trades? Okay, it was one of our two losing trades in the stock market that I share openly on YouTube here. And not all losing trades are bad. It's just a loss, no big deal. Personally, do what you will. For me, what's working for me more and more is the more immune and indifferent I become to my trades, my personal trades, the better my trading career goes. Because losses, it doesn't affect me. Oh, I lose money on a trade? No big deal. Okay? Not like that. It is a big deal, but it doesn't drastically affect me psychologically or financially as it used to in the past when I have a loss. So, the story was, we've got videos, we were talking about it, we were buying 75, 77, 80, 85, 90, okay, we were buying all right here, of the belief that that monthly trend, we're at the low end, we're going to bounce off the monthly trend, okay? The trend is your friend. So if the trend is my friend, and we've 2023 into 2024, we were headed down so hard, okay? So it looked like the bleeding was kind of stopping. And it kind of gave you a little sign there. Price started going in our favor, as you can see. And I was of the belief of, okay, well, looks like this Five Below trade's going to work out. And we just said, okay, look, we got that low down here of 65, 64 over here that happened back in the middle of August. So I just told myself, look, if it goes below it, if it goes below that 65, I'm out. I don't care. I'm done. I'm of the belief that was it. That was the bounce. We're going up. And you can see what happened. Price starts going in our favor bit by bit. It even got up to above $100 again. And then over here in January, it kind of took the same turn as the rest of the market did as a whole after the elections. You just had them couple months of just and personally, I'm of the belief that this company, Five Below, which I've talked about it fundamentally, there's a Five Below near where I personally live myself. Great store. And I am personally of the belief that the tariff deal that went down had a greater effect on this company than it did on some other companies. Because, you know, let's face it, I'd venture over 90% of their stock comes from overseas. So it really took it down a good leg. And we ended up with a low over here in, let's see, what was that? The beginning of April. It wasn't even the middle of April when a lot of the stock market was at its lowest. This bad boy was like kind of a, how do I say, it was almost like foretelling of what was to come in a little bit of ways. And it just took a deep nosedive quickly down to 52. Now, okay, so we entered back in August of 2024 and we held it, and then April we got stopped out and we lost the trade. That's okay, no big deal. Look at what happened after that. Look at this gorgeousness. You never can tell when price is going to reverse. But it just goes to show that in this case, we were the liquidity for the market. It took our money, and then whoop, after April, what was this? April the 11th, there was no going back. This bad boy just shot straight up for 3 months now. 3 months we've gone straight up. So back in April 4th, you were down at $52, and now you're at $130. That is almost 3 times your money. That's like 2.75 times your money. So if you were somehow fortunate enough to purchase $1,000 of Five Below on April the 4th, your $1,000 is now $2,750. This was an absolute gorgeous trade. And to be honest, our premise is not that off. You can already see our original game plan from back in July and August. It's already halfway to our take profit. So looking back now, a year later exactly, on this losing trade, what can we kind of tell ourselves? In the past, we might have told ourselves, see, you know, this is what I'm saying, man. I knew I was right on the trade, but I just got stopped out, you know. It just went lower than I expected, you know. And that happens. That's gonna happen. It's happened to me well over 1,000 times now. Well, why has it happened to you that many times, man? Because I'm telling you, I am like the worst candidate to get into this. But yet it's what might take somebody 10 times to master a concept, it's going to take me 1,000. What might take somebody 1,000 hours to get, it'll take me 10,000 hours to get. But I am so determined to make it that I'm just going to push my way through that wall. It's like a dripping faucet. Eventually, I'm going to drip my way into success. But it's just going to take me so much longer than your average Joe that comes into the market, throws $5 grand down, all in one position, bam, they make a bunch of money. Okay, they're good to go. They no looking back. They've got this comfortable zone. It's not, the universe willed its way on me forcibly that it wasn't going to let me have it that way. So I have to push back relentlessly to bend my surroundings to me. But this is another point. I went on a bit of a rant there. But this is my point. This is how I know another example of how I'm on the path to success. Because look at this. We're already halfway to our take profit point. I don't know. I haven't done any looking on, but I can venture to say there's no other YouTube personalities, people on Twitter, Instagram, trading gurus, what have you, all this garbage out there. I doubt that anybody was talking about Five Below as a company. But we were discussing getting in back in August and July of last year. So yes, we personally lost the trade, but our idea is still coming to fruition. There's no reason why we can't get up to 180. We're already halfway there on our original plan. Matter of fact, let's just go ahead and just set a little alert here. 179, price above 179.21. If we get up there, it's absolute confirmation that, hey, a year in the making, okay, your trading idea was right. You just couldn't handle the extra risk of it going down that low. Because we were buying at 75, 77, 80, and we just said, okay, 65, that's it. That's our uncle moment, our ouch moment. And the market said, okay, well, you're going to be our liquidity this time. So they took our money and boop, went without us. Now, what that does to an inexperienced person or an emotional person is they would have reacted to that. They would have gotten stopped out, and they would have said, oh man, I just got stopped out. Let me enter back in. I know my trading idea is all right. And maybe they would have been right that time. But why would they have done that? Because they didn't know how far it was going to go. If that happens, if you get stopped out like that, but you still are of the belief that, well, you know, this really could pan out, you'd have to wait a couple of weeks to see if it goes up. Then you could have re-entered again up here at 74, 75, and just put your stop down there at 52, and just gave yourself a second attempt at the trade, provided you didn't lose too much capital in your first attempt. We didn't do that. I left it alone. I said, okay, that idea didn't pan out, no big deal, I'm out, I'm done. And it worked out in our favor as far as the trading plan went, but the execution, we stuck to our original game plan, and that's it. And I'm proud of myself because I did that, because in the past I found myself chasing that a lot. Or I could have not noticed, not paid attention, come to the market and it's already at $97 and been, I got to get back in because see, look, it's going towards my take profit. I was right on my original trading plan. Let me go ahead and buy in. And then I'm having a terrible entry, worse than I had before at 77. I'm getting in at 97, you know. Oh, I've done that before, believe you me. So it's beautiful to watch this play out with nothing vested in it. But it's just interesting. Congratulations if you were into buying Five Below sub $100, 80, 90, 70, 60, even in the 50s. If you got a buy on Five Below in the 50s and you're now at 130, what are you doing? Unless you have some insider information that it's going to go to 180, 200, 300. What are you doing? You've like almost 3 times your money. What are you waiting for? Close your trade. Take the money out of the broker and put it into your account. Put it in your checking account. Matter of fact, put it in your bank and go to your bank and take it out in cash. What are you doing? What are you waiting for? If you had a buy down here and you're up here at 130, get out, close it. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying, if I was personally in trade, that's what I would be needing to tell myself. I would be needing somebody to come up to me, hit me in the head with the back of their hand and say, dude, close the trade. You killed that trade. You're the man. You did awesome. Take the money. Nobody knows what's going to happen in the marketplace. So when the market gives you a gorgeous move like that and you're up in the money, you take it. Just like I was speaking about Aussie dollar yesterday, our trade from the beginning of the year. It made a similar move like that. It dropped hard. All of our limit orders got filled and it ripped up to 62.8. And when we saw that, we just got out. Because we don't know what's going to happen from here. Sure, we could go up even higher. Or maybe it could notice it had a lot of interest and it could come back down and test that $50 area again. You don't know. Why don't you know? You can say you know, but do you truly know? I know I don't know. That's what helps me, is knowing that I don't know something. It's the ego thing. When you get an ego and you start thinking that you know what the market's going to do, the market's going to humble you so fast. It's going to show you that you don't know nothing very quickly. But when you just come into the market and say that you don't know anything, you can be prepared for any potential maneuver and trade accordingly. So that was kind of a follow-up on what Five Below did for us. A whole lot of nothing. It was one of those classic cases of the trade worked out, but you got stopped out, you lost the trade. But your idea, your premise is right, because you're already over halfway to your take profit. So Five Below doing a number, looking gorgeous, beautiful trade, and it's just more concrete evidence in my personal journey myself that teaches me, even 4 years in now, that teaches me of, hey, you're on to something. You're on to the right ideas. You're getting the right framework of mind. You're getting the gist of how the market ebbs and flows. Just more work on the execution, more work on the risk management, anticipating maneuvers, and success is all but mine. I just have to reach out and take it. It's that simple. And I'll be grabbing it bit by bit over time. I love everybody, and hope everybody has a wonderful day, and we will talk to everybody on the next video. Peace.